Hello and welcome to Jason's Sports Show. I'm Jason Caroline. It has been a while, hasn't it? I've been on a long hiatus. I didn't do a single show in May, so I'm sorry about that. Um, well, here we are. The NHL playoffs are in the conference finals right now, and the NBA playoffs are in the NBA finals. Can you believe Game 1's tonight? Seems just like yesterday. They're still competing for that number one spot. And baseball's in full swing. And of course, the Dodgers are disappointing. But we'll talk about that. That's our first topic. Angels and Dodgers. The story that many people are talking about. That they're disappointments. Well, let's talk about why they're disappointments. The Angels are currently sitting in an okay spot right now. Just doing it one game better than the Dodgers as of right now. The Angels pitching has been decent enough, but their hitting's been the real reason why they've been able to actually keep up. Well, not really keep up. I mean, they're 11 games out of first place, so yeah. Well, anyways, they're 11 games out of first place. So, what is there to say about that? Not much. But if they're 11 games out of first place, their pitching needs to be somewhat better. Vargas is kind of finding his form now. Surprisingly, he has the most wins in the staff, obviously because Jared Reaver's been out. You got C.J. Wilson. Blanton, still don't see him as a reliable pitcher, but he can pitch sometimes. I think it's Tommy Hanson that's their number 5 pitcher, or their other guy in the rotation. And these guys aren't the guys you want starting on your team. I can't lie. I mean, the top two are pretty strong, Weaver and Wilson. But once you get down to Vargas and Hanson, you're kind of rolling the dice. And when you get to Blanton, you're really gonna need some run support when you get into the later innings. You're gonna need run support. As it goes for their lineup, there's not much to complain about. They wish they could have some of their other players. They have a few. They have a few injured players. They wish they would have. They wish they had, like Iannetta. Whatever happened to Iannetta? I saw him play a few times when I went to a few Angel games, but not sure what's going on for him right now. Could it be that he's out right now? Could be. He played last night. I'm searching it right now. I'm sorry, but I've been trying to look for him, and I can't figure out if he's still playing. There's no injury report on him. He's not doing too great. 220. That's okay. He's a good center fielder. And when you have like Trout play center field, that's when you really need him. But they have Mark Trumbo. They have a lot of guys who are pretty good at their positions, and they're doing pretty well. The Angels lineup is nothing to complain about. They have a lot of hitting in the lineup, a lot of guys who can start rallies and who can do big things, but the pitching is really going to need to carry them if they really want to do anything. As for the Dodgers, Yasiel Puig, the newest guy that comes to the Dodgers. I don't know what to say about the Dodgers right now. They're kind of injured. They're kind of injured, and it's not looking very pretty for a lot of people. AJ Ellis is on the DL. Matt Kemp is on the DL. Chris Capriano is on the DL. Carl Crawford is on the DL. It's hard to look right now. It's really hard to look, especially when you're paying a guy $20 million, and he can't even show up. Hopefully, the things get better for the Dodgers. It's hard to watch games when they don't perform very well. So You just always have to look at that. The Dodgers hopefully will improve, and the Angels hopefully will improve. On to basketball. Spurs, Heat. That is that's the story. The Heat are looking for their third championship ever, in their fourth finals appearance. I think it's their fourth. Could be not. Actually, I think it's their fourth. Uh, um, you gotta really look at who's the better team than the Spurs. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. They're the more experienced team, and well, who are you gonna take? Who are you gonna take more on this? I mean, they need to. Okay, let's start. Let's start off. Let's start off position wise. So you're going Tony Parker versus versus Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers. Let's be honest here. Let's be adults here. Let's be adults and not even make a consideration. You wouldn't know Tony Parker's winning that battle. You say, Jason, Tony Parker can't play 48 minutes. Is that a challenge? Are you challenging Tony Parker? But you got Gary Neal right behind him. Gary Neal puts in solid production, don't he? Tony Parker in these playoffs has been playing very heavy minutes. Regular season, he played 32 minutes. Only during the regular season, he played 32 minutes. During the postseason, he's been playing 37 minutes. He is injured. He has an inflamed Achilles, but he will be fine for Game 1. Did the Achilles affect him? In that series, and another thing, in that series against Memphis, the least minutes he played was 33 minutes. In fact, the least minutes he's ever played was 26 minutes, and that was in Game 4 against the Lakers, which was a blowout. Let me ask you a question. Do you even remember the Lakers playing the Spurs, or is that just a blurred memory? Because for me, that's a blurred memory. I don't even remember them. I don't remember any of those games being even close. And again, you talk about the Clippers and Memphis series, and well, I certainly shut my mouth. But that's besides the point. Tony Parker needs to play heavy minutes for the Spurs to win. Is that true or false? I really don't. That's not my expertise. Plus, Gary Neal is only playing a few minutes per game, and he's an okay ball handler. He doesn't really have to do that much. He just has to make sure he doesn't lose the ball, and he has to make sure he sets up stuff for the team. What's his expertise in terms of being in the playoffs? He's played 14 games this year in the playoffs, averaging 15 minutes a game. It puts up 5 points. And here's the key stat, folks. Here's the key stat to any point guard. He averages a 0.4 turnover rate. Now, I'm gonna play some Moneyball with you right now. You're saying, oh, well, those stats aren't very impressive. He's a guy coming off the bench, only putting up 5 points a game. He can shoot the 3 ball, 25% from the field. And he's 1,000 with his free throws. He doesn't turn over the ball. And what does that mean to me as a coach? When you don't turn over the ball, you're doing a good job. You're letting our star rest while we can have another guy go on the floor and make sure the ball doesn't get turned over. So, and I'll talk about them. I'll talk about Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers. Norris Cole. I mean, let's. I'll be honest with you. Right now. Sorry for stuttering. I'll be honest with you right now. If you are a player, if you're a basketball fan who just decides how to judge basketball from NBA 2K13, you might not think Norris Cole is that great, but he's decent. I mean, you're always gonna need an extra guy on the bench to come in and play. And we can just take a look at Chalmers and Cole's statistics this postseason. And, well, Norris Cole, he went to Cleveland State. He has 1 year experience from all Chalmers has 4, playing for Kansas. This year, 16 games for the Heat. Now, oh, what am I thinking? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Chalmers only plays 26 minutes. Cole plays about 21 minutes, so give or take. Are you getting a lot of possession out of these guys? Combined together, you get about 16 points per game from these two. How's their turnover rate? Chalmers 1.3, Cole 1.1. Not too shabby. That's a lot. 2 turnovers, 2 guys is not too bad. I mean, as long as they can score and stuff, but I mean, it doesn't matter really. I mean, these guys aren't going to beat out Tony Parker. So advantage, Spurs, and I'll keep track. I'll keep track of who gets the better advantage in this series. I'll do a full preview right now. Okay, so advantage Spurs in terms of point guard. Now, let's move to shooting guard. Shooting guard, each series. You got Dwayne Wade, and Ray Allen. So 2 guys. 1 guy is young, and I use that term very lightly. I use that term very loosely. He's 31 years old compared to Ray Allen, who's 37. On the other side, you've got Danny Green and Manu Ginobili. And you have this other guy named Nado De Colo. Can't pronounce the name. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Danny Green's a starter because Mr. Ginobili, while still being the fearsome shooter he is getting kind of old, and, well, he's not going to be able to play those heavy minutes all the time. Though this postseason, he has averaged about 25 minutes a game. So he's playing most of the games, actually. It's more of Danny Green being more of a... Oh, well, give or take. I mean, Danny Green plays a lot in these games. He usually plays 30 minutes in a game. So Manu Ginobili, still fearsome shooter, still showing up. And I'll start off with Danny Green. Sorry, Danny Green plays a lot. He plays a lot of the shooting guard. And Manu Ginobili plays the shooting guard too. So Danny Green, he is decent. I guess you could say his defense is a little bit better. But that's just a loosely term. He scores when he needs to. He went off in game 1 of the semifinals for 22 points against the Warriors. So that happened. I'll move on to Ginobili, who still is putting up good enough numbers. He hasn't started a game this postseason. It's a wise move to always bring him off the bench. But Ginobili still getting those 3-pointers in. So we'll see how those work out for him this series. And then you got Nado De Colo, which is another guy they just bring in sometimes. He's a French guy, 25 years old, young gun. Maybe we'll see him more often in this series. if things get out of hand. So Dwayne Wade, I'd like to say this. I'd like to say the curious case of Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade. And let's compare his postseason averages. Let's see. His high was in 2009, 2010, where he scored 33 points in 5 games because the Heat lost in that playoffs that year. And he's definitely went down, but he's always had pretty good numbers. And then this year, he hits his low, 14 points per game. Now, it would give him justice. It would really give him justice if we looked at the games he's done and looked at the if we looked at what he's been doing in these games. So we'll take a look. Series against Milwaukee, he really lit it up in game 2 with 21 points. Then you go into this, and then he kind of struggles after in game 3 when he only shoots 1 for 12, he still win. Okay. Then you get to that game, you get that series against Chicago, and I mean he's doing okay. Not doing really fantastic, but he's doing good enough. Then you go to the series against Indiana, where he played every single game, and he puts up good numbers every night. But then you see he comes back with that 20 point scoring, he's scoring 21 points in that game, and he's back. So it's only assumed that he's going to be back. Now, does he match up with Danny Green? Of course, he's more seasoned than Danny Green. Okay. You look at Ray Allen. Can he counter Manu Ginobili? Why did they bring him in? You ask. 3-point shots, 3-point shooting, and he did just that. He went 42% from the field. Has he been doing that in the playoffs? Not 42%, but he's put up 37%, which is good enough. He's put up 10 points this postseason. That's all you can really ask from a we call it a role player. That's all you can really ask. And I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna give the advantage to the Miami Heat. Now you know what's coming up next. Small forward discussion. Kawhi Leonard versus LeBron James, Mike Miller, and James Jones. And I can, yeah, okay, so anyways, yeah. LeBron James, MVP, speaks for itself, let's be honest here. Mike Miller, another one of these guys where you kind of just bring him in for his three-point expertise, but knowing that he can also score when he needs to is also a positive reinformation for the team. And he's only played in 10 games this postseason, and he really isn't doing much for this team. So, I mean, if he really needs to play, he'll play. James Jones. James Jones. This guy, he was a 3-point champion, correct? Not the 3-point champion season-wise, but he was 3-point champion. He was 3-point champion All-Star-wise, correct? He's only played 6 games this postseason. He's shooting 1,000 from 100% from the 3. So that speaks for itself. Now, you got Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs here. San Diego State alumni. Only has 1 year really of experience. Now he's not a rookie, by the way. Everyone thought I was calling him a rookie. No, he ain't a rookie. Not at all. Why is Tracy McGrady on the Spurs? Like, Why? I don't really. Why? He's not even playing. But whatever. Kawhi Leonard does not match up with LeBron James. I don't care who you're talking to. So that's over with. Now you got the next position, power forward. I got two names for you. Tim Duncan and Matt Bonner. You can include Daywan Blair, but he's not doing much. There's not much argument here. Mr. Fundamentals, Tim Duncan. Throw it at you. Going through a divorce, doesn't care. NBA Finals. Let's do it. You got Matt Bonner. Can shoot threes. He can do a lot on the floor. So 1-800 killing these threes. On power forward, yeah, a lot of guys playing. Y'all see. Yeah, Haslam. Yeah, Shane Battier. I'm gonna be quick and say Shane Battier is okay. He's a defensive player. I rather have. I don't know who I'd rather have if I would rather have Udonis Haslam or Shane Battier. By the way, do people forget that Rashard Lewis is on the Heat? That's probably because in the last 5 games, he's played a combined amount of minutes. He's played 9 minutes in the last 5 games. So, yeah. He doesn't really play that much. Anyways, now Haslam, he can play, but I don't really see him doing that super well against Tim Duncan. And yeah, I don't really see that happening. So, advantage San Antonio. Centers, Chris Bosh, Chris Anderson, Joel Anthony versus Thiago Splitter, Boris Diaw, and Aaron Baines. Thiago Splitter, he's learning from the best, obviously. He's learning from Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamentals. You can't argue with that. He puts up a decent amount of points per game. He gets the rebounds he's asked to get. So Thiago's pretty average. Boris Diaw comes off the bench. He does what he needs to do. And yeah, that's what he's gonna do whatever he needs to do. He gets rebounds. That's all you can really ask for. Aaron Baines only played in 4 games. Pretty irrelevant since it's the finals. Chris Bosh. He played poorly against the Pacers, only going 3 for 13 from the field for only 9 points and 30 minutes of action. He added 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. So he's day to day with whatever injury he has. He gets rebounds, he gets points. He's Chris Bosh. There's a reason why he's on this team, and he's proved it year in and year out. So Chris Anderson, a lot of people are mad at him right now for what he did to Tyler Hansbrough. I say let bygones be bygones. Tyler Hansbrough is one of the weakest players in the NBA. He's pretty small. He's not. You're not gonna be afraid of him. So that being said, he will be back, I think. Well, anyways, I think he'll do decent enough. He'll be okay. Anyways, and then you have Joel Anthony, who has seen some action this postseason, but not enough. Just for the sake of experience, just for that sake, because Thiago Splitter is not. He's been in the league for 2 years, and he hasn't been to the finals yet. I'm gonna say heat advantage. Y'all hear that? The Spurs have an advantage in the point guard and power forward departments, but the Heat have their big 3 and as predicted, they take the shooting guard, small forward, and center positions. Now, the coaches. I don't think this is even an argument. Not even close to an argument. But who's the better coach? You have Spoelstra, who has led the Heat to, this will be their third final in a row. But you have Popovich, who's so much of a better coach. Can we just be honest here? Advantage San Antonio. Now, here's a little bit of a controversial category that I came up with myself. Who is the better fan base? You have the Miami Heat, and there's arguments. No, there is not. Spurs fans, San Antonio. Well, obviously, if you're going to talk about the Spurs, you're going to have to say they're the only team in town. Well, only major league team in town. And yeah, they're the only major league team in town. So they're gonna get a lot of the attention. You think they sell it every single game. Truth be told, I'm lying. They don't sell it every game. 99.2%. They don't pack the building. The Heat, 102%. Who has a better fan base? A city that has two major league teams, or three major league teams, or a city that has really nothing, no other major league teams. We'll find that out after the break. We're back. Loyalty-wise, I'd say the Spurs. Because I'm looking at specific statistics right now. If I go back to 2008, actually, I'll go back to 2009 because that's a little bit after the hangover year. The Spurs, 97%. The Heat, 15, right behind the Spurs. So, go to 2010. Still no big three. Wait, actually, big three now. Heat, no big three. Heat, still 90%. Spurs, 97%. Go to 2011. First year of the big three, Heat had moved to number 5. Spurs, 98%. I hate it. I hate to do this. But, fans, Spurs. Now, this will be quick, because I already know the answer to this. Who has a better bench? You have Matt Bonner, Manu Ginobili headlining, who comes off your bench for the Spurs. For the Heat, you've got Chris Anderson, Norris Cole, Ray Allen, Mike Miller, Shane Battier. I find more depth in the bench of the Miami Heat. Why? Because there just is more depth. A lot of these guys have finals experience, and they know what they're doing. And there's a lot of older guys who can advise to the others. So in a controversial call, the bench score goes to the Heat. If you're keeping score at home, you got 4 advantages for the Heat. You got 4 advantages for the Spurs. Who gets the last point? Who does? Who's going to get it? You ever think about that? Who's going to get the last one? Sorry. But, I think it comes down to history. 5 championships compared to 2 championships. Don't you? Don't you think it comes more down to what they've done? Actually, I'm sorry. There's only 4 championships the Spurs have, while they have 4 championships, and the Heat have 2. Have the Spurs ever lost in the championship game? Ever lost? Have they ever lost in the NBA Finals? Actually, they've never lost in the NBA Finals. Here's a scary thought for you. The Heat have. The Heat lost. But you know who hasn't? The Spurs. They're 4-0 in the NBA Finals. Isn't that crazy? I don't know about you, but I find that crazy. The Heat, on the other hand, they've lost. They've only been around since the late 80s, and they've lost once in the NBA Finals. That was to a Texas team too. So will this be the Texas two-step? Maybe advantage Heat. So the Heat, the advantage Spurs. So the Spurs have the advantage in terms of fans, history, coach, point guard, power forward, while the Heat have shooting guard, small forward, center, and bench. So that wraps up my NBA Finals preview. I don't know about you guys, but yeah. Quick shout out: Kings are playing Game 4 tonight. Go Kings, go! That's what I say. I think the Kings are incredible. I'll be honest with you. They year in year out, they just keep playing, and well, do I think the Kings will go all the way? Well, let's. I'm gonna end the show on this. Let's see what Eric Hardman thinks.